What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my Speedroid deck profile. Hope you guys like the video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, and check out my eBay in the description. A lot of these cards, okay, not these cards, but a lot of the cards from Battle of the Legend Heroes Revenge are going to be up there if you want to have a look or whatever. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. This is a really fun deck. It's really quick spamming synchros out, which is what I like. And yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of the way I used to play Red Dragon Archfiend. Just the fact that like you can work with an empty board sort of thing. That's the way Red Dragon Archfiend used to work. There's a complete empty board, and you can make like a load of plays from that. So the first card we're going to be going with is 3 Rubber Band Plane. So the way this card works, if it's a monster special summon to the field, except during damage type, you can special this card from your hand. You can also special monster from the rest of the turn except for wind monsters. So it does lock you into wind monsters. And then if this effect is of Speedroid Pen, you can, if this card is normal or special, you can target one face monster on the field, loses 600 attack. But yeah, so you're using it for the 5. If you use summon a level 3 or whatever, you can go straight for the new Kite Dragon, which we'll go into eventually as well. The next card, you might be thinking it's a bit weird. I got this off an OCG kind of deck list as well. So this one here is for Cyber's Wyvern. So, or Clock Wyvern, sorry. So the way this card works is when you normal summon, you can summon a token, and you can go straight into your Link monster, which is requires 2 wind monsters, which is Rubber Band Shooter, as you can see there. And it's just a really easy way to get him out. So that's why I run him. Also, he's level 4, so it works well for to go into your Clear Wings and stuff like that. Same general principle with Mecha Phantom Beast Tetherwolf. So the way he works is if he's normal or special, you can special one Mecha token like that, and he gains level if there's a token on the field, so you can also use that as well. And they're all wind, like you can see. And the next card is Speedroid Double Yo-Yo. So the way he works is if this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Speedroid monster and special summon it from the graveyard. So the reason you're running cards like this is because they're searchable with Rubber Band Shooter, which is kind of cool. If you don't get the tuner to your hand and you have to send the tuner to the graveyard, you're going to search out Speedroid Double Yo-Yo and then normal summon Yo-Yo and then get the tuner back from the graveyard anyway. So that's why you run kind of, so the way, like I'll explain Rubber Band Shooter's effect, but basically what he does is he banishes synchro monsters, and then you get to search out 2 of your Speedroid monsters and send one to the graveyard, add the other to your hand randomly, but you have to make it kind of the same level. So that's why you're going to do like a 4 and a 3 is a 7, or 2 4s, or a 5 and a 3 or whatever to make the 8. So yeah, the next one we have is Horse Stilts. Horse Stilts is just another Speedroid good card. So if this card is normal, somebody can special 1 level 4 Speedroid monster from your hand. During the main phase, except the turn the card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish the card from the graveyard and send 1 wind monster from X. So it's basically your Foolish Burial. I didn't really need to run the Foolish. It's only kind of if you have cards like Monster Reborn or Speed Recovery in your hand. I'll show you guys Speed Recovery just so you're not confused. Speed Recovery in your hand, would you need that effect? But yeah. The next one then is another good one to search, because if you send, just say you send something like Kendama, and you go for Take Tomborg or a level 3 Daiko Duke or something, you can either summon the Daiko Duke if you really need it, like that's the reason you're searching it, or you can special summon the Take Tomborg and then banish it and summon another Daiko Duke kind of thing. So Take Tomborg, the way he works, if there's a wind monster on the field, he can special summon himself, and then he can tribute himself to special summon a tuner Speedroid monster from the deck, which is nice as well. Then we have, only because it's on the ban list, the 1 Speedroid Terratop. You'd obviously run 3 of this. If there's no monster on the field, you can special summon him, and then you can, when it's normal or special, you can add a Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand. So normally a lot of times you're searching Take Tomborg, because he can go into any of the tuners, and you have a free synchro monster right there. The next one, I only run 2 Daiko Duke because it's very easily searchable. I mean, you could run 3, but I don't want to see it in my opening hand. I want to search it, I suppose. So that he has a graveyard effect and a normal effect, or just another graveyard effect. You can banish this card from the graveyard, special one Speedroid tuner from your hand or graveyard except himself. So it's cool just for reoccurring, because I found a lot of time when you're easily, like with the Wyvern and the Tetherwolf, you're very easily summoning out Rubber Band Shooter. It's very easy. So you want to maximize 3 of each in your hand, so you're getting 1, you're going for the tuner straight away. Then you're able to kind of with all the kind of cards like Rubber Band Shooter special summon himself, Take Tomborg special summon himself, Double Yo-Yo to kind of do that kind of stuff, Daiko Duke to some special summon stuff. it's easy to get out another kind of synchro. So kind of my end board, like one of the end boards I made was Kite Drake, Rubber Band Shooter, and Crystal Wing in a 1 turn type of thing. I can't even remember how I did it, but I used this card, and then I was able to go for the second synchro monster. You can banish him and special summon the one that's in your hand or whatever as well, hand or graveyard. So that's kind of cool as well. It's a really good card. The next one we have is 2 Red-Eye Dice. The way he works, if he's normal or special, you can target a Speedroid monster on the field and change its level from 1 to 6. So you can go straight into Clear Wing that way, and that's how you get your Crystal Wing off. It's a really cool card as well. It's level 1. I don't know if I have 1-for-1 in this deck. I do, 1-for-1. So it's a 1-for-1 searchable as well. So yeah, so that's it for like kind of the main deck monsters. I'm after messing up my deck big time, but I'll fix it later. But yeah, it's a super fun deck. It's really cool, and some of the synchros you can get out is just really nice. Next, for kind of the hand traps, you have 3 Ash Blossom and 2 Effect Veiler. Just kind of, it's kind of a normal way to run it. Eventually, maybe be swapping for Ghost Log or whatever, but for at the minute, that's all you're running. Now, kind of a tech choice for the new ban list is 3 Dark Hole. Like I said, this deck works really well from an empty board, and you can just go off from there. So we have 3 Dark Holes that just wipe the board. Sometimes it's detrimental to your opponent. Your opponent can't do anything after the white board, and you summon a Clear Wing or a Crystal Wing or a Kite Drake and attack for 3,000, which is really good. Then we have 3 Speed Recovery. This card is very, very good. So the way this card works is target a Speedroid monster in the graveyard and special summon it during your main phase. Except the card is turned, this card was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card and then target. Let me see. Is it banished card? When this card is sent to the graveyard, you banish the card from the graveyard and target one Speedroid monster in the graveyard, add it to your hand. So you get to recard that way as well. And then we have 1-for-1 just to search the Red-Eye Dice. Monster Reborn just in case. Upstart Goblin just because you're running a few less cards. And it's a quick deck. For another, for the traps now, is 3 Solemn Judgment, because you're only, I think it's better than Solemn Strike, just because you're running a lot of kind of negations, I suppose. But Crystal Wing, kind of, you want to end with Crystal Wing on the field. This is kind of the way to do it. And Solemn Judgment is another negation, so you kind of have those double negates. Sometimes your opponent just can't get over that, having the double negate. So Solemn Judgment only like requires you to pay half your life points. Obviously, it's start of game, it's bad. Late game, it's brilliant. When a monster would be special summoned or a spell or trap card is activated, pay half your life points, negate. So yeah, so it's good. So you're running like the negations with Ash Blossom, Crystal Wing, Solemn Judgment. Your opponent's board's going to be constantly wiped. It's just a really, really good deck at the minute anyway. Yeah, and it's kind of, this is kind of the closest thing we're going to get to Crystron Needle Fiber, and it's just as good, I suppose, in this kind of deck. So the way he works, you probably could be run 3 as well, but 2 at the minute is fairly good. So it requires 2 win monsters. During your main phase, you can immediately after its effect resolves normal summon 1 win monster. Also, you cannot special monster for the extra deck for the rest turn except synchro monsters. You can banish 1 win synchro monster from your extra deck. Reveal 2 Speedroid monsters with different names from your deck whose total levels equal the level of the synchro monster. Your opponent randomly picks one of them and adds it to your hand and sends the other to the graveyard. You can only use the effect to fight a Rubber Band Shooter once per turn. So the way that works, I'll just explain for you guys kind of quickly. We'll just go for this, and yeah, I suppose if that's normal or special summoned, just say these two just for random sake. So you're sending a level 6, obviously. You summon him, you send a level 6, you pick one of these 2, you shuffle around, your opponent picks one, just send that one to the graveyard, this one to your hand. So then what you can do, if you have something else in your hand, you can normal summon it, or you can just special summon take Tomborg, because there's a win monster already on the field, and then you can tribute him and go for something else entirely, like double yo-yo. No, you can't do double yo-yo. You can only go for dice, or Dendon Daiko Duke. So you can special summon Daiko Duke. And like I said, if you do have another monster in your hand, you can normal summon it, and you can have a synchro monster that way. And that's only for the wire, like just say Clock Wyvern, and you get still, you know what I mean? Still a normal summon, whatever. Just that's kind of basically the way it works. Just trying to show you for whatever sake, if you can understand me. The next card is just a Boral Sword Dragon. Got this in Battle of Legend Relentless Heroes Revenge. This card's just good for OTKs, and if sometimes when you do have a Crystal Wing and all your engaged opponent can't do anything, you still have this on the field, you can next turn get rid of it for the Boral Sword. So yes, then a few level 8s I run is Omega. Omega just frees up your extra monster zone because he can banish himself or whatever. The Borreload Savage Dragon, because you need to run that in a synchro deck. He's just really good, especially if you're going to have Rubber Band Shooter in the graveyard. You can go for him next and have your 2 counters on him. Your Wind Monster Stardust Dragon, I kind of only send him really, but it's there. The new High Speedroid Kite Drake. So this card's really interesting. I made this once or twice. I just used the deck, so I started using the deck recently. But if this card is Synchro Swim, you can activate one of the effects, either destroy all cards on the field or negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. If this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card, you can add 1 speed or a monster from your deck to your hand. So like, the deck is kind of crazy, the fact that like Dark Hole is constantly destroying their stuff, and then Kite Drake can destroy their stuff, and sometimes they just cannot come back from stuff like that. The one amazing Crystal Wing, he just negates for days, and he just gets his attack super high. I run 2 Clear Wings just because you can send one, you can use one if you want. Both that works. Then I'm running the 1 Clear Wing Fast Dragon just because he reoccurs himself constantly in the extra monster or in the face-up extra deck. The 1 Cyber's Quantum Dragon, I mean, if you're locked into wins, you can't summon these. You can't summon Omega or Boral Savage, or Saber's Quantum. But there are still really good cards. This Saber's Quantum has got me out with so many troublesome kind of times where you can just attack a monster, any high monster you can't get over, and it bounces it back and then attacks again. It's really good. Then we have Stardust Charge Warrior, just draw a card. Speedroid Kandama, like I said, for that little combo there where you just you can just send him off. And then Kambara is one of the old cards as well, but you can make 2 attacks or whatever. So that's it for the extra deck as well, guys. Maybe I should run more Link monsters, but I don't know, I like it at the minute, like the way it is, especially because you're sending a lot of these synchro monsters as well just to keep searching, which is really nice. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget, like I said, check out my eBay and all that kind of stuff to support the channel. Good luck.